Rob, a return to action this weekend, the Pirates, another decent test for you in pre-season.
Yeah, and one we're looking forward to and one we definitely need. There's no doubt we were a little rusty last week against Connacht. There's good reasons for that, so we're not overly concerned. The guys had a 10-day break coming into the first training day of the week. Before the 10-day break, they'd had, I think, a 3-day camp up at Chivenna, so it was pretty much 2 weeks since they'd last chucked a rugby ball around, and I think that was relatively obvious. We put more ball down just through drop-in or poor passes in that game than I've pretty much ever seen us before. But we kind of knew that might have been the case, with a relatively short time to prepare back into rugby. But we've had a full-on week this week, and so certainly we won't be looking at any excuses for us making those basic errors again this Saturday. So we've got some guys doubling up again who played last week, just to help keep them get up to speed. And I'm expecting a good performance, and now's the time we're going to start to expect to see players kind of hold their hands up for selection.
Pirates, you've faced numerous years now, you know what sort of threat, they're going to be very attacking, they'll test you in perhaps different ways that Connacht would have.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're big believers in the quality of the Championship. That's not just because we've come from there, but also looking at our recruitment as well. And let's face facts, I know everyone has different opinions on the Championship playoffs, but basically they're second best team in the Championship. 2 very good games against London Welsh, who are now in the Premiership, so they're a real challenge, and we mustn't forget that first and foremost. We've got to go out there and play well. We've got to make sure the game's about us, because Cornish Pirates will be coming here and watch a local derby, looking to perform very, very well, and they've recruited very well in a number of positions this year, and they look like they've got a strong squad.
You said you wouldn't get too disheartened. What were the positives from last weekend?
It's like anything. When you analyse it, a lot of the positives, a lot of what we've worked on in pre-season as regards our kind of shape, both in attack and defence, was very evident. But what we didn't manage to do was kind of hold on to the ball for that next phase or two that would have really let us exploit the space we were creating. We looked very comfortable defensively, probably a little bit too comfortable in some ways. We look comfortable, then you get stung by a silly turnover with us losing the ball on the floor again, which was uncharacteristic for us. And all of a sudden, you go through a game, we conceded 8 points, and yet, we couldn't force enough scores to win. So, those parts of it. Defensively, we worked very hard. That was good. Set piece, we worked very hard on. That was very solid, and I was really pleased with the guys went there. And our attacking shape was fantastic. But what we didn't do very well was execute once we created those moments. And for me, it's going to be about action and execution, and a little bit of a step up of intensity. I think we probably went through the motion. I know it sounds strange, it was obviously a tough game, but I think we maybe went through the motions a little bit, trying to set some things up without us really maximising kind of the weight of our carry, how hard we worked to clear out, how quickly we actually just got on the move and doing things, and we're expecting things to step up a notch this weekend.
Come the end of this weekend, you would have probably had a look at 3/4 to almost your whole squad.
Yeah.
So then it sets up nicely for Glasgow. What are you expecting from especially the new guys that have come in that will play this weekend?
Well, I think it's their opportunity. At Exeter, new players don't tend to come in and come straight into the team. If they come in during the season, they tend to play a bit of A-team rugby and have to fight their way in. And it's very much the same for guys who are new here at the start of the season. They've got to work extremely hard. They've got to show the rest of the squad what a quality player they are, and they've got to demand a place in the starting lineup. Now, there's some opportunities out there today. Don't get me wrong. There were some good performances against Connacht, and I think there's a number of guys who, once you analyse their game closely, were pretty much up there as regards Premiership intensity and Premiership quality. There was also a number who weren't. And those guys are now going to face some stiff competition if there's a big performance this weekend. But that's what rugby's about. That's what squads are about. That's why you play. We don't hide the fact from the players. I say to them most weeks, players pick a team, not the coaches, and their level of performances are what pick the team.
It's an exciting time now because you're only a few weeks away from that seasonal opener as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what rugby's all about now. The players are pretty much now into standard game weeks. I think they're a fair bit happier now. They've obviously had a much better preparation week this week than we've managed to put together last week for a few reasons. And we're kind of right in the thick of it now. After the game on Saturday, we've got a very short week before we jump on a plane to go to Glasgow, and from then on in, there's nothing else on our minds apart from Premiership rugby. So the time's closing in, but that's kind of what it's about. Rugby isn't about pre-seasons. It's not about how much weight you can lift. that's great. You know, it's the hard work that has to be done. You know, our conditioning team do a great job. But at the end of the day, it's about running around on a piece of grass. It's about running around as hard and as fast as you can. And that's what, you know, that's what I'm going to hope we see from now on in.
The other good news this week, Gonzalo's been selected in the Argentina squad. First championship match for them. Yep. More international honours for our boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for Gonzo. You know, he was a big part in the success we had last season. You know, he's a real kind of bouncy rubber ball type character, and he made a lot of good things happen for us. You know, I'm really pleased for him. You know, I won't hide the fact I wish he was here with us, but you know, that's what international rugby is about. You know, we want our guys to play well. We want them to be ambitious. We want them to keep trying to strive to be better and play at the highest level they can. And for Gonzo, that means playing for Argentina. You know, what a fantastic competition to be involved in. He's going to be playing against 3 of the best teams in the world. So hopefully it goes well. Comes back to us in one piece.